Okay, in this video, I'm going to cover some tips, tricks, and secrets while playing Zenith. This is going to include menu items, Godstones, and some other things that you may not have known. I will leave timestamps down below so that you can easily go through and skip to the areas that you want to watch. One of the first things that you need to know is how to open up your menu. On your left controller, on the quest, it's going to be the X, but it's going to be the lower button. You're going to click that and it'll bring up your menu. In this menu, you have your inventory, Godstones, your crafting station, friends, your guild, the map, which we'll cover in a little bit, your different quests, your settings, your sound options, and then where you can log out. And yes, there is a log out button. So one of the first things we're going to look at is Godstones. There is 4 different tiers of Godstones. You have your common, your uncommon, your unique, and then there's a purple, which is the legendary. I'm not going to go over Godstones in depth here because I'm going to do a video over it. Just know that you're going to want the higher tier because it's going to give you these different upgrades, which will give you more power. Also, these Godstones are your abilities, so that's where you're going to get all of your power from. If you want to do crafting or cooking, you'll come into this button right here and go to toggle station. That will turn your station on, and then you can select your menu item, whatever you want to craft over here, which will change the ingredients. And again, I have a video for this, and you can find that on my channel. So if you come back and you notice that your weapons are really, really low or really, really high, and you want to adjust that, so right now I'm probably floating off the ground, you'll come to this button, and then you'll go here to recenter. Recenter is going to adjust your height to where you should be. And there we go. See, now my swords are right where they should be. This button is for your guilds. If you want to create one, you just come down here, name it whatever, and then go to create. The next button here is for your map. Now, something that you need to know about the map is there's a fast travel. All you have to do is click it, and it will move you to that area. Another thing about the map is that you can go to region mode, and that'll show just the area that you're in. You can see events, and you can see different quests that are available. In this little button down here is where all of your sensitivity and gliding buttons are. And you can adjust these depending on how you feel. If you get motion sickness, you might want to change these so that you have a little circle that appears around when you start moving, kind of like that. So you can just go in here and adjust things depending on how you feel playing the game. Same thing with the flight. You start out at basic, but you definitely want to try and get to sensitive or strafe. Down here, these little buttons are for your microphone, and then this is actually to hear other people. This button right here. So since that's checked off and that's checked off, my microphone, and I can't hear other people. So yeah. Eating and drinking items will give you buffs. For your buffs, you can have a drink and a food item total for your buffs. So if I was to eat this and then drink something, I can have those buffs from those 2 items. But you can't have 2 food items or 2 drink items on for your buffs. As a Blade Master, you can block an enemy's attack by holding the trigger. Blocking the enemy will increase their stagger, and it will decrease your stamina whenever they hit. On enemies, if you notice this little red mark there, that's a weak point. If you hit it, it will increase the stagger substantially. Enemies won't attack you if they're not looking at you. So like this enemy, I could sneak right up behind them, and they're not going to do anything because they're not facing me. As soon as I go around into their view, you see the little red eye icon up there? That means that they see me and they're actively coming after me. Now, as you block and damage an enemy, their stagger meter is going to increase. When their stagger meter gets all the way full, they will get stunned and you'll do extra damage to them for a short amount of time. With items that drop from the enemies, if you're very far away, sometimes you can click the grip button and the item will come right to you. Like that. And then you just put it to your chest and the item will go into your inventory. But see, sometimes it won't work. You can lock onto an enemy by clicking the right joystick, which will show the enemy's health right here, even if you go and look somewhere else. So this would be good for tracking bosses and keeping an eye on their health when you're moving around. But yeah, just right hand, thumbstick, make sure you're close enough, and it'll lock on to the enemy. While you're out in the different zones, you'll find different ingredients that you can collect. And each zone has different ingredients. When you collect the ingredients, you're going to get experience and skill for that particular ingredient. And if you want to see where you are skill-wise with gathering the ingredients, you'll go into your inventory, go here to where your crafting is, and then go to gathering. And in here, you'll see all these different ingredients. When you click one, you'll see the times gathered, and if it's got a little star, that means you've leveled up that particular ingredient. When climbing, if you use ladders or vines or rope ladders or anything like that, your stamina is going to go down a lot slower than if you were to just climb, say, on this wall. So whenever you can, use ladders and things like that to climb up instead of just randomly climbing up walls. When you're gliding, if you see these little updrafts, make sure you fly into them because they will increase your stamina and give you a little bit of height. So we're going to fly into it. See, my stamina increased and it took me up higher. When you're out wandering around, you can find these little memory fragments. And if you walk up and put your hand close to it, it'll tell you a little bit about the history and lore in Zenith.
Our visit here is a courtesy to you Amarites, though we have no obligation to do so.
So if you're interested in the story, go ahead and try and find these. Around the world, you can find these pots. And right now there is a little bit of a glitch that you can do where if you break the pot and then grab the shards, you can actually climb anywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this, and then we're going to grab a shard and grab a shard. Then we're going to go here, and oh, did they fix it? No, they didn't. So I must not have grabbed it with this one, but you can see I'm not grabbing anything, and I am climbing up in the air. So you have to just make sure that you grab the shards to be able to do it. Warning, mages, if you grab the shards, you're going to have to restart your game or log out and log back in because you're not going to be able to cast spells with the hand that had grabbed the shard. So keep that in mind. Another thing to look out for while you're wandering around are these Amara tears. You want to collect those because that is how you increase your stamina and are able to fly, jump, and as a Blade Master, block more. And you'll take those to the Amara statue, which I'm going to show you now. Okay, so if you're looking for the statue for Amara, here's the bridge where you come in. You're going to go right over this way. And right back here is where the statue is. And there's the quest. So make sure you come back here when you get upgrades so that you can get higher tiers of stamina. Now, if you want to see what quests you're doing without actually pulling up your inventory all the time, if you go to the left controller and press Y on quest 2 or the upper button, it will pull up this little menu here, which will show you the different quests that you're doing and also give you a little map on your hand so you can see which direction you need to go for your quest. In each zone, you'll find one of these synthesis stations, and it will give you 2 different levels that you can get of gear. And what you're going to want to do is select one of the items. So let's say you want these gloves, and you're going to have resource costs for the different things. So you're going to have dust and maybe some ingredients for the area. So let's go ahead and make this. So you're going to select the item that you want to make and then press this button, which will bring it up right here. Then you're just going to take and add the items to it until it is completely made. And then it will create one of these little items that you can grab and put into your inventory. Then you can go into your inventory and see the item that you made. If you have an item you no longer want in your inventory, you can grab it, move it over here to turn it into dust. And there, it gave me some super enhancement dust. This will keep your inventory nice and clear so that you can keep gathering items. Around the world, you'll find these chests. And when you hit them, and when you hit them, there we go. Lag. It'll have all these items that will pop out. You don't have to grab every single item. You just need to grab one, put it into your inventory, and all of the items will go to your inventory. One thing that is asked a lot is where is the location of Ezreal, which is for the quest that you get from Mika over there. What you're going to want to do is come into the mine, and I'll show you right where to go for him. You'll come in here, fight some enemies along the way, which I'm not going to worry about them because I'm pretty high level for this area as I start to die. Go through the first 2 rooms into this big main room. From here, you're going to go right and then right again, and here's the guy you're looking for. And you'll just want to kill him to complete the quest. From this room, if you're looking for the Naga boss, which I wouldn't advise going to by yourself unless you're high enough level, you'll come back this way, up these stairs. Alright, so if you're looking for the Naga boss, you're going to come through here. Don't mind all these guys. They've been chasing me for a little bit. They might kill me. They are going to kill me. And you're going to come through here once I start moving a little faster. There we go. Then you're going to go left. And back in here is where this boss is. and you're going to want to group if you're under like level 15. In the unfortunate event that you die, you can revive yourself by putting your hands together like you're praying. A circle will appear there. Once it's all the way full, you'll be revived. You can feed people food to heal them and give them the benefits of that food. See? That healed him up. If you're looking for quests to increase your cooking and your different recipes that you have, you'll go into the city this way. When you enter in here, you'll go around the corner, and you'll usually see a lot of people here unless you're in a lower shard. But this is where Brimm is, and he's got some shakes in his face, smoothies in his face. You'll go here, and this is where all of the quests are for him and cooking, and it'll give you recipes and different things like that with experience. And oh my goodness, there's stuff everywhere here. Another thing that is right by Brimm is the store. If you have stuff you want to sell, you can come in here and sell different ingredients or armor or anything like that. You can also buy basic ingredients and the basic noodles recipe. Here we have an enhancement station. When you approach it, it will show you your different items in your inventory. You'll select an item, which will bring it up into the box. Then you'll see the cost for it, the Zen cost, and then down here, the enhancement dust cost. To increase it, you'll just grab this handle and pull down. As the enhancement increases, your percent chance of the enhancement succeeding is going to go down. So if we do it again, it's gone down to 80. And again, now it's at 70. Make sure you don't increase your enhancement past +9, because there is a glitch right now that your gear could potentially disappear if you go to +10. So just go to +9, don't go any further than that until they fix that. But after you're done, just walk away and it'll be in your inventory. Now, for this effect to take place, you need to take it off and put it back on, because it doesn't automatically update over here in your stats unless you do that. If you want to friend someone, you'll point towards them and hold your grip, which will create this little line. When it turns green, you'll have this menu open up. You can add them as a friend, invite them to a party, and if you are in a guild, that will show up there as well to invite them or whatever. If you find yourself in the water and want to get to the other side quick, then move your arms like you're swimming in the water, which will consume stamina but make you move very, very quickly through the water. You can revive people by running up, putting your hand in this little stream here. And you just have to hold it until it's all the way full, and they will come back. As an Essence Mage, you have the ability to use Teleport. If you have something that you need to climb up, you should try teleporting up first, because that will save you some stamina. The other thing with climbing is when you're climbing up, like this is, okay. When you're climbing up a surface such as this, let's say you start running out of stamina. If you need to take a break, just make sure you're on an angled surface, because then you'll stand there and be able to recharge your stamina. Mages have the great ability to be able to also teleport up, which will save a large part of your stamina. But just as you're climbing, make sure it's not completely vertical, and you should be able to stop and take a little break. So for the streamer, you have these different settings in here. The smooth first person is kind of weird. It zooms everything out and then kind of smooths out the bumps and jostles and everything like that. But I don't know if I really like it. I'm still kind of... I think I'm going to kind of take a look at it and see how I feel about that. Then for the third person, you get this little... Well, actually, let me do this really quick so that you can see what it actually looks like. You get this little green thing that you can move around and set up so that you have a third person view, which I will move back now. So you can do introductions or whatever with your little camera. When you go to your inventory and you are looking through and you have all these different cooked items and stuff like that, you can actually grab the cooked item and put it into a couple quick slots down here. You have 2 quick slots that when you're not in your inventory, you can just grab an item from it and then eat it really quick. Then you don't have to worry about going into your inventory for healing or different buffs.